you've been down the road with Jim Mangold for a while now. I think it's three movies you've done together, including this one. How did he bring this project up to you?
I before the Indiana Jones film, I knew that he was eyeing to do this piece, and the Johnny Cash role wasn't I guess invented in the script yet, and so I was looking at a different role in the movie, and
Oh, interesting.
talked to Jim, and I said, hey, I think another actor is attached to this, but if they do something doesn't work out, Jim, I'm prepping this character already. And then we did, and then it didn't happen. Something, whatever reason, it didn't get set up at the time. And then we went off to Indiana Jones. And then even throughout that, I was kind of chirping to Jim. I was like, hey, I don't think that actor is going to work out. I'm going to do it. And then I got the biggest surprise of my life. I think in like May of 23, or when was it? Yeah, May of 23. He got a call out of the blue, and Jim asked me to play this part of Johnny Cash, which was terrifying and exciting.
I was going to say it must have been mildly terrifying because I mean, Jim
I
quite
looked up the
famously.
Joaquin Phoenix, who played the iconic version of Johnny Cash, who's, first of all, I got to do Johnny Cash, and then Joaquin's already done it. It's like, it was a lot, but in a way, that was the most exciting part too, because it was an entirely different version. And then, of course, I don't think if Jim hadn't been the one doing all this, I probably wouldn't have, been engaged in this. But how it came about was um, researching with Bob Dylan. He discovered that they were pen pals, and Bob had actually kept the letters. And when Jim made Walk the Line 20 years ago, he didn't know that relationship existed because Johnny Cash lost the letters or didn't care about them. So you really knew, like, there goes to show you which type of person is the other. And so that's how the creation of Johnny came into the story. Um, and so I think that they obviously so exquisitely did Walk the Line. This is an entirely different function and version of Johnny. So I felt I was entitled to chase down that dragon.
Yeah. I wonder if that detail that Bob had kept the letters and Johnny hadn't kind of informed the character that you wound up creating here, because there's a brilliant, I mean, love, my
Yeah.
favorite moment is you sort of like completely walking past Bob, on your way to your car, and him just having to like stop you and say, hey, it's me, it's Bob, it feels very true, that moment.
Well, there's nothing, I don't think Johnny keeps anything precious. Um, there's not this nostalgic quality to him. He really lives in the moment. I don't know how conscious he is, but who gives a damn? Like, he's creating such amazing timeless music. Both of them are, and I think that's really the, the I don't want to say functionality, but the purpose of John and their relationship at that particular time is to say, hey man, you're at a crossroads in your life, and this machine will suck you into it, and you'll get spat out a different version of Bob Dylan. But if you choose to have your voice and stay who you are, you can do something special.
Mm.
I think he
Uh,
sees reflection in Johnny.
yeah, absolutely. I think one of the fascinating things about the film is the fact that like all the music we're seeing was shot on set, that it was performed live. I wonder if you can sort of describe the atmosphere for those moments that you got to witness and take part in, doing it live and sort of being in that moment on set.
Well, I kind of discovered that on the day. Um, and I only thought it was for the festival because, it's a festival, it's a live festival. Um, I did because we did this running sort of huge long take where Joan goes up first, she sings, and I'm astonished that that's actually her singing such an angelic voice. And then Ed goes up and he says, "We got a surprise guest. Johnny Cash is here. We're going to bring him up first. Then we'll get to Bob." So I come up and run 2 songs. And then Bob comes up and runs his song. And it was just this long take. And I just thought it was that. And I love that Timothy didn't want to have conversations in between takes. There was no use for any of that stuff. The most we did was me and Monica would talk about Johnny's strumming pattern, which was that boom, that train sound. And I think that would naturally happen. You got 2 artists just sharing information of how you play your instrument. And so there wasn't any extra fat on the bone, so to say, of talk, just chit-chatting, about, we were just dialed in, and I loved that. And I love that about Timothy, and I never will forget of such a wise thing to say from such a young man was, when it's over, it's over. And you're not going to get this time back. So I thought that was special. And just to be locked into the moment, that's a good piece of advice.
Absolutely. Well, listen, just finally, I guess we know Timmy to be a great actor. I think people are going to be surprised in this film by just how authentic he feels, and how true he feels. I wonder, from your perspective, what you made of Timmy's performance in this.
I have worked with a lot of actors, and I think he is the real deal. You can tell from the language that he has. He comes to set and asks what the scene is about. What's the theme here we're doing? What's the relationship, tracking all this stuff, the stuff that, I love to talk about, because it really defines your character, and it really goes in the harmony of like, what's Jim written. And so, yeah, he's the real deal. He's the full package. I'm so happy to share a stage with him and Ed and Monica and Elle and everybody else who was a part of this. Just really, everybody is at the top of their game. And Jim, thank God he's around, because he's the one that sets it all up.
Yeah, absolutely. A fabulous film. You're fabulous in it, Boyd. Thank you so much. No drones.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Take care.